Hi everyone, so we're going to talk about symbols of our country, which you've already read this story. You read it with Miss Barr. She put a video on Class Dojo, and she talked about the symbols of our country. So what is a symbol? A symbol is something that's used to represent or to describe something else. And usually a symbol is a real thing that we can touch or hold and see, and it's used to describe something that maybe we can't see or we can't hold, and it's a little harder to understand. So a symbol is something real used to represent something that is more abstract or more hard to understand. So the first symbol that it talked about was the American flag, which I drew mine. And the flag used to be referred to as Old Glory, but it's just a reminder of our freedom, a constant reminder. I mean, if anywhere you go, there's going to be an American flag outside. So the American flag has 13 stripes, if we count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there's 13 stripes, which are used to represent or to stand for the 13 original colonies, which were not quite states, but the first settlements or first kind of like towns when the people came over on the boats to our country, to settle our country. So those were the first settlements or the first places that people came to. And then those later started forming states. And then the stars are used, the 50 stars are to show the 50 states. So the flag itself stands for other things besides just our freedom. It stands for parts of American history as well. Another one that I drew, actually let's do the ones in the book before I show you which one I drew. The next one on here is the Washington Monument, and I have a picture of it. I found some really nice pictures on AmericanHistoryForKids.com. So here's a picture of the Washington Monument. If anybody has ever been to Washington, D.C., you can see a lot of the symbols that our book talks about. The Washington Monument was a monument or a building built to be a memorial or something to remember George Washington by. He was one of our nation's greatest leaders. He was a Revolutionary War Army captain or commander, and he was the first president. And he is said to be one of the best leaders that our country has had. So they built a building to remember him by, and this building is a symbol or a reminder for his leadership and what he did for our country. We also had the Lincoln Memorial, which is a monument used to remember or to symbolize Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president, and his contributions or what he did for our country. Those are both in Washington, D.C. We have the White House, which is where the president lives. We have the Capitol building, which is where we can vote people in or elect people to be our lawmakers, to decide our laws. And then we have the Supreme Court, which is where the judges work to work on and vote in and pass all the laws that we're going to follow. So here's pictures of these, which you've already seen these, but I'll show you again. We have Mount Rushmore, and here's a really good picture of it. And I tried to draw all of these, and it did not go well, because I will share a secret. I am no artist. So Mount Rushmore, these are carved into rocks, into stone. It's in South Dakota, and this is used as a reminder and a symbol of 4 of our most influential and best leaders that we've had. 4 of the most influential presidents, which was George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Theodore Roosevelt, and Thomas Jefferson. So those are carved into stone, which took a long time. But that's another symbol and a reminder of people that built our country and that were great for our country. So symbols don't always have to be about things. They can be about people, or they can be about ideas or feelings. And I'll get onto that in a minute. A feeling or a being, kind of like freedom. We can't really see freedom or feel it, but we know what it is, and this is a representation of it. This is something we can see that we know stands for freedom. Another one that I have is the Liberty Bell. I drew this one, and it's a little crooked, but that's okay. So the Liberty Bell was rang after the Declaration of Independence was signed. So after they signed that and had signed and confirmed, like, this is our country, we're our own country, and this is how we want it to be run, they rang it in celebration. And it cracked. That's why I drew the crack in it. So they got another bell because they were really excited about their bell and disappointed it cracked. So they got another one, and they rang it after the enemy's surrender in the Revolutionary War. So they rang it in celebration that the enemy had surrendered and that we had won the war. And it cracked again. And the bell just kept cracking, so they only rang it for very special occasions. They ring it for George Washington's birthday, and they'll ring it for the deaths of very important people. Not so much as a celebration, but just kind of like an honor to them. So the bell is a sign of our celebration and our remembrance of our history. So that was another one that I drew. I also drew the bald eagle, and I have a better picture of it. So there was a lot of discussion about if the founding fathers or some of the founding people, the people who formed our country, if they wanted the eagle to be a symbol. And they weren't really sure because eagles are known for stealing food from other animals. And the founding fathers were like, that doesn't really represent honesty and integrity that we want our country to stand for. But they did decide on the eagle after some discussion because it is protected, but it was also, they're only found in North America, which is the continent that we live on. So they thought that was a great representation of us. And also, eagles are known for strength and for dignity or honor. Not so much honor because they steal food from other animals, but those are the things that they're representations of. So they were like, what? This is a great representation of what we want our country to be known for, strength and dignity and honor. So the bald eagle became another symbol for those. Another one is the Statue of Liberty, which is in our book, and I have a picture of it. I did try to draw this one, and it was not good. So the Statue of Liberty, which was a gift actually from the French. We were allies or friends. We helped France in some of their wars, and they helped us in our wars. And as a sign of that friendship and of gratitude or thankfulness, they wanted to give us a gift. And they then gave us the Statue of Liberty, which is 111 feet tall. It's very tall. And it is also a sign of our freedom. So that's another symbol of something of our country, one of the qualities of our country. It's a reminder of our freedom. I also have... I didn't draw this one. I tried to draw this one too. We have the seal. It's called the Great Seal. It's an emblem or a representation. It's another symbol of our country. And this is interesting because it has little symbols inside of it. You can see the stripes, which we said was a symbol of our American history and of the 13 colonies. We have the eagle that we just talked about is a symbol of our freedom and integrity and honor. And then it also has the stars up at the top for our states. And then this is used for legal documents. So they put these on legal documents. It was approved by Congress or by a group of the lawmakers not long after the Declaration of Independence was signed. So this was a very early symbol of our country. It's a symbol for virtue and justice. So all of these symbols have meanings, and symbols don't just have to be something you can hold. Symbols can be people, or they can be buildings or statues, or anything that we can see or think about that's used as a reminder for something else. Like the Pledge of Allegiance or the National Anthem. We can hear those and we can sing or say those, but we can't hold them or really see them, but we know that those are reminders or symbols of our freedom. So symbols are things that are used to stand in place or to represent or explain something else. So these are all really good symbols or reminders of different qualities of our country, like freedom or honor or honesty or integrity. And those are good things to use to describe and remind us of parts of our country, even though we can't always see those important qualities. Thanks, guys, for watching. What you're going to do now is draw some of your own symbols. You just have to draw one, color it if you have markers or crayons or anything to color with. Send a picture to Miss Barr on Class Dojo, but now you guys can draw your own symbol. You can use the ones from the book, or if you know one, or if you go to the website that I used, you can use any of those, but color one, draw one, color one, send it to Miss Barr. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.